So today I got this 55-inch RCA, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a red light on right here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it on with the actual power button. Okay, the light goes out. And as you see, we have a picture flash, right? And let's see if I can pull the menu up. Let's find menu. And see if I can see anything on the screen. And I actually do not see anything. Okay, let's see if the actual button will turn it back off. Okay, red light once again. We'll turn it back on. It did flash, and I don't see anything. Okay, as you can see, the model number of this TV is a LED 55-inch C55R120Q, as in Quebec. And this machine is manufactured in November of, it's like 2015, 2013. Okay, here we go. As you can see right here. Now I noticed it's two things about this TV. One, that I thought it just the way it was made, but the back cover actually looks like it's melted. As you can see that, right? It looks like it's melted. As you can even see from the sticker on it. Vents on the back cover, they're all like melted. It's melted right here. Okay, it's kind of like it's dipping, the plastic like dipping in. So I don't know if it had anything to do with the back cover or there's actually a problem inside. And like I said, I never opened the TV up. So I don't know if there's like a problem inside, maybe something burned up. Okay, so how to take this back cover off is that these two side pieces on the ends are gonna have to come off first. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is check my LEDs. Okay, and this obviously here is the plug. Okay, looks like we got two lines, 4 wires, positive, negative for each line, and that wire is going into the TV. So just to verify or not verify that it is the LEDs causing the TV to flash, I'm pretty sure it is. We have a timing control board, power supply board, okay. To my far right here is the main board, and this is what they call the FRC board. I believe that actually kind of boosts up the signal before it gets to the TCOM board. The TV comes on with backlight but no image. Most likely it's between this board, it's this board right here in most cases. Keypad, right? And also this board right here, which I took a loose, okay. So this is for the infrared detector and our LED, our red LED light on here. So what I want to do first is, I know we must have a problem with the LEDs, but I'm just going to make sure I'm getting voltage here, just to kind of like eliminate anything that may have happened to the power supply board. Meters in DC volts. I'm going to ground my negative lead to the chassis right here. I got it grounded right there with the alligator clip, and I'm going to put my positive lead on the first line that's positive, right? The red wire, I'm gonna plug it in, okay. Light is red, I hit the power. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on minimum max. So, and I'm going to go to the other side, hit power. Light turns off. 69 volts. Okay, the max was at 80, went all the way up to 87 volts before it shut back down. Let's go to this other side. I'm gonna plug it. All right. We'll go to the other red wire. Plug it in. Okay. My light is red. I'm going to hit power. Okay, light turns off. And that side went to 128. Okay. The fact that we'll get voltage coming up on the power supply board on the positive line for the LEDs is an indication that the board is cool. It's just that the problem is something's going on with the LEDs. So we know that should be our problem, right? The shield that goes over the TCOM board, okay? So make sure that you definitely put that back on right around here. This is our TCOM board. So, like I was saying earlier, this TV is just like the 65-inch, which is actually easier because in order to get to the LED strips, which are located on this metal back cover, should be anyway. I think it's the first time I've ever had a 55-inch. But that 65-inch TV, we were getting those back in probably about, I'm gonna say 2016, maybe 2017. We were getting one of those like every 2 months. Those 65-inch TVs that were made the same way. Okay, and the same thing with that is that to get to the LED strips, you don't have to flip the TV over on its back, pull the outer bezel out, and then pull the screens off one by one. On this one, all you do is separate, okay, the back cover by taking all these outer screws out right here, and make sure that this is disconnected from the outer bezel, okay, and especially with our driver boards, disconnect those. I've already got my infrared detector, which is also connected to the outer bezel. I just took one screw out of that, comes out one way, you'll see it, it's real easy. I put the screw back in there so I won't lose it. And then we always have to check these brackets off. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these L-shaped brackets, which is connecting the outer bezel, okay, to the back of the TV. So hopefully this works the same way. And so first I'm going to start with just unplugging these here from right here. Okay, unplug our driver boards from our TCOM boards, both sides. And then what I'm going to do is pull this tape off so I won't forget. This tape, the driver boards, keep kind of way. You just leave it on there for right now. I'm just gonna pull it off of the driver board. Okay. And it looks like besides the screws around the back cover, still had it plugged in. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to pull off these L-shaped brackets, in which the one in the middle looks a little bit smaller. So that's pretty easy to remember. But if you want, you can still mark it so you won't forget to put those back on when you're putting the TV back together. So I'm just gonna put like a little red mark right here, right here, just so I won't forget. No big thing. You only go on one way. So yeah, so there are actually some screws. So actually some screws on the inside and also on the top. So the screws right here are connected definitely to the outer bezel, and remove the screws around the rest of the back cover of the TV, and we should be in good shape. That should lift right up, and like I said, that should be good because we don't have to do all that extra work. Okay guys, I got all the screws off. I took all the L brackets off, and I took all the screws around the back cover, and they almost got me because I know that when you pull this back off, these driver boards are still stuck to the screen, so those will not come up, and I see they actually tape right here. So I want to free those up, right? Come on. There you go. Try not to bend these or break them. Just want to make sure those are not taped to this back cover. There we go, that came out pretty easily. And got one on the end on this driver board right here. Just so I can hold this away from that back cover, and you tape this to the outer bezel. So I'm staying away from the driver board, and take this right here. Because I don't want any accidents that I could have avoided, right? Put another little piece of tape right here, because this one's trying to go back in. Looks like I got everything separated. I got all the screws out. I got my driver boards disconnected from my panel, right? Okay, and I've got this infrared assembly out. Okay, so this actually should come right up and out, right? Which makes this a lot easier. So I'm double checking, and let me see if I can get a, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna get a grip over here, and I'm gonna come up over here. Be very careful. And grab the middle. How we looking? Voila! That's it, guys. And these are LEDs right here. That's it. You probably don't want to move this. I'm not going to move it because it's going to bend. So because I'm going to just leave it just like that. Because when you get ready to set this back on here, okay, on the screen, as you can see, you don't want to flip this around, first of all, because the screens, the diffuser screens and the other screens are not mounted in there. They actually will fall out if you turn this around or whatever, try to move it. So the best thing to do is just maybe like do one or the other. What I just did, do that part on the floor, or you know, if you don't have two tables, or just take the back cover off like I just did and put that on the floor and work on it that way. Or if not, just get like another table. So we're gonna leave this in place, and when you put it back on, it's probably best to have two people. I always call my wife on that 65 inch, especially on that 65 inch because it's much bigger, and she would actually hold one side and I'll actually hold the other side, and I'll just kind of line my side up and then walk over there and grab her side and line the other side up. Okay, remember about the driver boards. Okay, be very careful when putting that back on. See what we got here. I think these things here just twist maybe and come out. This is kind of stupid. This is actually on the bottom of the TV. But you know what? I'm gonna have to squeeze those out, the ones that I can. I'm gonna squeeze little tabs off of that white paper. They're clear. So let me see if I can find them. There's one here. I'm gonna push it in. That's what's holding the paper down. I'm just gonna squeeze it, push it out. There's another one up here up top. Got one here. Got some down here. What I'm probably gonna end up doing, because I've got some more up under here, is go ahead and just break them off, right? And then when I put them back, somebody had a question about that when they break, they break or whatever from the end, they won't stick back in the hole. It's because you want to keep that screen separated as much as possible from the LED lights. Otherwise, if you don't put those back on there, the screen is going to sag, and you're going to see the lights, a bunch of circles with the actual LED lights are at. So you want to hold the screen as far from the white paper as possible. I'm just gonna have to break those off, right? So we can get this white paper off. Matter of fact, I'm gonna set these on top of my screen so I won't forget to put these back on before I start putting this back onto the screen. And all I'm gonna do is just like twist them off, see? And when I put them back on, all I'm gonna do is just put them on like that. Get a piece of clear tape, right? And just tape on each side like that. Probably only goes on one way, but just in case, right? Got my tester. Let's see what's really going on now. These are actually 2 strips on each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's the one we are getting 147 volts, but 0 amps. And that line is not lighting up. Okay, let's go to this other line right here. the red and white line. All these are good. We've got 2 test points right here. Okay, I'm gonna go to the good side first. And as you can see, those are lighting up. So we know all these are good. I want to see which one of these is bad. I've got my sun plug from the power supply. All right, and so you can see where those test points are at. And they are marked positive, negative. Right here, positively on that one, negatively on that one, okay? All the way down. Positive, negative. Okay, so let me go on the other side and figure out which one of these strips. Okay, those are all like, are 20, looks like 26 volts. 80 milliamps. It's 26.2 volts, 80 milliamps, okay? Wow. Look what that one's reading. 0 milliamps, okay? 26 volts. $26 volts. 26 volts. 26 volts. And there are some test points for each individual LED. So let's see what's going on. What was it, this one? Yep, second one from the top on the left side. And let's go down. The LED's good. So keep our positive lead. We'll go to a good one right next to it. Keep our positive lead on the positive. And we'll just keep going down until we find our bad one. Now this strip is actually good. So I'm just showing you, I'm just using this as an example, right? So let's try this again. Positive on positive. Yeah, 3.1. This next one should be 6. And where we at right there? Okay. This one is our bad one. This one is open right here. That one is open, okay? We'll go to the next one. Those are good. So this is our bad LED right here. This is our showstopper. It is open, okay? Right here. So we just mark that strip. Okay guys, so I got all brand new strips, right? Brand new strips. And these are actually the right ones. Okay, I'm just gonna put one in first. I just thought about it before I do that. Plug my strips back into the TV. And what else am I missing? I think that's it. And hit these lights. Okay, let's see what it actually does. Okay, my light is red, and My power button's over here. Let me see one of these. I can't look. Yes, I can. This bottom button should see a flash. Right, so it's only on this side. That flash is this side is not light up. So let me unplug it. Let's replace that strip. I'm going to unscrew. First of all, I'm going to mark it. It only goes on one way, but sometimes I'm going to make sure it's even. But obviously, I cannot unplug it until I pull the strip out and pull it up. And there's enough room for me to actually pull that plug out. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull it up. Pull this plug out. Okay. Put the new one in. Okay, they actually want you to tape this. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me see how that's gonna work out. Let me just see. Because one thing I hate about using this tape on all these strips is they might be a little crooked. And let me see. So I'm gonna go here, and I would like to actually screw it back in, which I might end up doing anyway. Because see, it's gonna keep getting crooked. Crooked. What I'm trying to say. Okay, I lined it up and line that one up. Got it plugged in. Let's try it again. There it goes. That one LED was shutting down. You can just replace the one strip if you want. You can replace a single LED if you're good. I got plenty of videos on that. Single LEDs that were bad, like for the TVs that had just the one bad LED, like this one, I would just replace the LED. You know, the little 1 cent, right? 1 cent repair, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and replace all the strips, marking each one right here on the end. And that way, when I go put the white paper back on, I won't have any that's crooked and have to start cutting paper and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll just mark them all like that on the end. And we know they're inside of this. If you want, you just mark the middle also. Might be a good idea. Because like I said, it's got that tape on the back, so you don't have to put the screws back in. But you want to make sure, you know, you kind of got it right the first time. So, and I'll do the other side the same way. And we'll go ahead and start getting busy. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and plug it in and make sure everything's plugged up. Make sure all the strips are plugged in, and then we'll go ahead and fire it up. Uh-oh. Something happened. Something ain't right. Make sure they're all plugged in correctly. Let's try it again. Okay guys, it wouldn't come on. The other side was flashing again, and it took me 2 hours to figure out why. I was reading a short with my LED checker on that very first strip. See, I got the tape. I got the tape on the wires at. It was reading a short with my LED checker, and I went and checked it. Instead of reading the 25 volts, it was reading 0000. When I took the plug out of the power supply, the actual whole plug in the power supply, the short went away. So I was thinking something on the power supply board. So I looked at everything, and I was taking components out that was reading shorts, but I found out they were supposed to be going to ground. And so what I figured out was, do not put those screws in there, because what happened was, one of those screws, I'll get this on camera, on that second strip. Now that strip was actually lighting up, because I actually checked all the strips, and they were all lighting up with the plug still in there. But that, like I said, that first strip right here on the end will actually light up with the plug unplugged, which made me think it was a bad power supply. Then I figured that it was a bad power supply. Then it's got to be the plug, so I unplugged so I cut the plug, and so yeah. So what happened was, I actually traced, when I put that screw in there, I actually chipped that trace right there on the second one, right here, and it was actually, I'm sorry, right here, it was actually grounding the, I guess, the positive trace to ground. So that's cool. So I actually took all the strips off just to make sure it wasn't one of the strips, and that's how I figured it out. So I just left the most of the screws in on that side. So yeah, so unless it's perfectly center, you know, if the screw starts going in crooked, well, I should have known something, that it wasn't center over the hole. It actually scraped the side of this on the middle part, actually scraped the trace off the strip, and that screw was actually grounded that strip to ground. So finally, I already checked it once, so it better come on again. Must probably redo that wire, because one of those wires had came loose anyway when I was unplugging it. So let's see what we got. Voila, finally. Hey, I almost gave up. Okay, now I'm gonna get ready to set my back cover back on my outer bezel. Okay, we did not move the outer bezel at all. Make sure these boards are clear. So I got them taped. One came loose, see? Make sure they're clear. All right, this one's good. That one's still good. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the top part in first. Start with one corner. Ooh, so looking at the bottom part, making sure that we are clear. Remember, it was warped, so it's not going. This side looks okay. Here we go. That side looks okay. Boards are good. That's good. Okay, I'm just gonna put these screws in here. Just make sure it's lined up. One in the middle. First of all, let me just go ahead and fire it up right fast, make sure we got backlights, make sure everything's good. Okay, got backlights. I want to untake my driver boards very carefully. Got 3 pieces of tape on this one, right? Take that off. I'm gonna plug it back in first. Going all the way in to the line, and then stick these back on the sticky stuff if it's going to hold. And then put my grounding tape right back on here, right? And remember, the grounding tape goes on this tab right here. So don't bring it too far down or make it touch any of the components, because it is conductive. Okay, because like this other one, obviously, where you at? It's crooked. So you'll easily like put it like down here, but no, but put it right here on that same thing. Looks like a ground tab. And then I'm gonna put in back my infrared detector with our standby light on it. Only goes in one way. Okay, I'm gonna put a few more of these brackets in, a few more screws in before I stand it up and check the picture out, so I won't break anything else, right? Okay guys, looks like we're done. That's it. Wasn't too bad, except for that man-made problem which I had caused, well, by drilling that hole in that backlight strip, right? so yeah, I know you guys say you do a lot of backlight replacements, and unfortunately that's what's wrong with about 80% of all LED televisions. They will eventually have a backlight problem. So if you ever have a situation, in most cases when you turn the TV set on and you have sound but a black screen, not a gray or lit up screen, but a black screen does not come on, or the light even changes. If you don't have sound but the light changes from off to on, or from on to off like this one, or from red to green or whatever, or to blue or whatever, like it normally does when you turn it on, but you're still getting a black screen, or the screen might even flash like this one did. Most cases you have a backlight problem. I'm not even gonna say 80, I'm gonna say like 90%, 80 to 90% of LED TVs have backlight problems, okay, when they malfunction. Alright guys, so that's it. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you check out our online store, bigdogelectronics.us. Appreciate you guys if you make a purchase. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Big Dog out.